It's not about wanting to get high. It's about not wanting to feel anything.
Not forever, just long enough to breathe.
Everyone's pretending to be okay.
I know I'm not, and I don't know what to do with all of that.
I wish I could go back and do a redo and help him understand who he was. Did we fail this badly? He's not okay. He's not okay.
And you're scared? Too late to stop.
It's too late to stop.
But it's too late to stop. You're not even chasing the high anymore.
You're just trying not to drown. They always say, don't do drugs.
No one really asks, why we might want to.
I'm not trying to screw up my life.
I just don't want to feel this way anymore. Some mornings I wake up and I wish I hadn't.
Then I get dressed, I go to school, and I just pretend that it's all good.
I smile when I have to, laugh even when something's not funny. I know the part. I play it every day.
But half the time, I feel like I'm not even here. People say, you've got so much going for you. Sure, then why does it feel so hard?
And the weirdest part, I'm surrounded by people, and I still feel completely alone.
Sometimes I think, maybe it'd just be easier to not feel anything.
Not forever, just long enough to breathe.
Teenagers access a lot less mental health resources. They don't pick up on the cues, they don't think it's abnormal, or their parents don't make the decision, so they won't take them to seek help for anxiety, depression, other problems. And having poorly controlled mental health with poor impulse control is a bad combination.
It's not about wanting to get high. It's about not wanting to feel anything.
Everyone's pretending to be okay. I know I'm not, and I don't know what to do about it.
I think I struggled a lot with acceptance. I struggled with feeling lesser than, that I was unwanted or like a burden. I think I was always just looking for a way to connect with my dad. I wanted that connection with the people that I was around, my friends. And the first time that I used, it was marijuana. I was with a friend of mine. She asked if I wanted to smoke, and I was a little anxious. And then I remember actually using it, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. I didn't want her to think I wasn't cool, so I smoked it with her, and then it became very common and normal for me to drink alcohol or smoke marijuana and smoke cigarettes, and it eventually graduated into heavier substances. It didn't take very long. By the age of 11, I was taking prescription medications that weren't mine, and it didn't matter what they were. I didn't even know what half of them were, but that's how I felt accepted, especially when it came to the group of people I kept myself around. I don't think it initially started with the idea of escaping. I didn't realize that it would take me to a place that I felt like I could escape something. And once I realized that it did take me to that space where I didn't have to feel anything that was bad, that escape was what came after. I felt like absolutely nobody understood where I was coming from, that nobody could understand, and even if I explained it, they wouldn't care. So I just stayed quiet, and I suffered.
It's not like I woke up and decided that I'll become an addict. But, one day you're at a party or you're in someone's basement and a friend they come up to you and they say, "Hey bud, try this, it'll help."
The reward center of your brain, the nucleus accumbens, as soon as you use, there's a release of dopamine. The dopamine makes them feel happy. Also, the reason they're using, if they're having anxiety, sometimes they'll use an off switch. They'll use alcohol, they'll use opioids, they'll use something to help downregulate and turn down their brain. They don't want to feel the full extent of their emotion, so they get something that helps calm them down in that situation, but also activates the reward center of their brain. So they get a two-pronged switch. One makes them feel a little calmer, and one gives them a reward sensation like, oh my God, I feel normal, I feel okay. People that with severe depression, they may use a stimulant which causes significantly large amount of dopamine in the reward center, and they'll feel a temporary relief of the depression. They'll feel, my mood's elevated, I feel okay, and again, I got that reward feeling.
Then you're scared. It's too late to stop.
And it's too late to stop.
But it's too late to stop.
And you're not even trying to chase the high anymore. You're just trying not to drown.
I thought he could just stop. And it took us a long time to realize, like, he needs help. This is addiction. If somebody would have asked me, I would have said Alex would be the last person who would have ended up in addiction. I just remembered him saying, Mom, I don't have any friends. No one wants to hang out with me like this. And I remember feeling devastated, like, that's not you. I don't know what you're talking about, but like, the addiction isolated him. I wish when he had that major disappointment in his life and he couldn't run and he lost his identity, we tried, we really tried, but there was such an emptiness. I wish I could go back and do a redo and say, help him understand who he was beyond Alex the athlete. He could have been proud of himself and not maybe turned to substances. It didn't hurt me so much like, I can't believe you would do that. It wasn't like that kind of reaction. It was more like, he's not okay. He's not okay. Be careful with yourself. Like, you're precious to somebody. I don't want a young person to suffer, but I don't want to see their family suffer like we've suffered. I don't want to see that.
I always thought that I was only hurting myself.
But it's not just me.
It's my mom, when she checks if I'm even breathing when she walks by my room.
My best friend who keeps asking if I'm okay.
It's my little brother who doesn't get why I'm so angry all the time.
Sometimes I think about what would it be like if I just disappeared. But then I see how much it would hurt the people who care about me. And that makes me stop and think that I'm not alone in this.
Alex, do you remember how great it felt when you were sober and you could just like get up early and enjoy a sunny day or go for a bike ride or, try to think of something positive and something that had life. I know we would remind him, like, Alex, you are so smart and you've always been such a smart kid. And just reminding him of who he really is. This isn't you. You actually are a completely different person. This is you with addiction, but you without addiction, you're an amazing person. And we started to say that, and he started to talk about that himself. And that was the first time he decided, like, I'm gonna go to rehab.
It's like being in a boat and you're in the ocean and you're just floating along in your weird boat, and where you would probably once panic before and try to do it all alone. If I would just turn around, I could see that I had plenty of people in my boat with me. They're helping take me there too. Recovery for me today looks like freedom and acceptance and safety. And I'm doing all of the things that I can to help the next person recognize that, like, they're worth it and they don't have to struggle and they don't have to be in that space. Like, there is life outside of that, and that life is beautiful.
Addiction and mental health go hand in hand. What might start out as just trying something and experimenting, when it gets into addiction, there's a great amount of suffering with that. There's a great amount of sadness, anguish, instability, loss of peace, loss of a sense of yourself. If you've tried a little bit of something and you've done some experimenting, don't go any further.
I would just like you to know that if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, lost, sad, scared, they're all normal feelings. It's normal to feel that. It's okay to feel that. But you're not alone. And you do matter. And you have worth beyond your recognition right now. You couldn't imagine how much you're worth.
I used to think no one would understand, but I was wrong.
I still get low,
I still have bad days.
but I don't have to stay there.
It's not perfect, but I'm still here, and that counts.
I'm learning how to feel again.